And there's a reason why I want to talk specifically about Mortenax Blade, because theoretically speaking, he is essentially becoming a very interesting character where bro is gonna ascend to maybe a lot more team comps in this current version as well as the future versions. All right, so I do want to get this out of the way, which also means I will have a little bit more time to cook up the additional video, which is gonna be before you pull Yao Guang. And I think it is a really, really good time to make the Before You Pull Yao Guang video, because after we finish the Before You Pull Yao Guang video, I can then talk about my thoughts on Elation. And the reason why we can talk about our thoughts on Elation is because theoretically speaking, imagine having a video on your final thoughts on the Elation flagship or the Remembrance flagship, but like the final comes out. And I don't think it will be a very fair statement to say whether or not you're going to have a final say on what is going to be the true flagship on that version before taking a look at the Finon of that specific version. Right? For version 3, we do have Finon. For version 4, I mean, I don't know if Himeko Nova is going to be a Finon, but like, I just think it's really, really interesting that we are able to essentially take a look into how Yao Guang is going to be cooking. So let me just hop on this real quick. Firefly. Godfly. Oh, look at Godfly, bro. There we go. So that is pretty much gonna be what we're doing, which is gonna be Mortenax Blades testing as well as Before You Pull Yao Guang. I am not really sure how many teams did Sarah cook up. So Acheron, Fei Xiao, Yun. Oh, we have one more for Saber, which is really... Yo, chat, speaking about Saber, pretty interesting, innit? I do think it's pretty interesting. Wait, why are you saying that, chat? Bro, I'm just saying it's pretty interesting. Which, interestingly speaking, is a very interesting phenomenon, if I can say so myself. MrPokke, will Bob pull Blade? No. This agenda needs to stop. Like, I swear, bro, this is legitimately a waste of cost. If you have no DPS that you have for Blade, you don't pull Blade. You never ever pull a DPS before or rather after you pull a support, right? Always build a team around a DPS you want to play, because DPSs are the ones that forms the structure of how do you make that team stronger, right? How the hell are you going to know you need Saridra unless you are going to be pulling for Finon or Nexa, right? How the hell are you going to know you're going to need Avenite? I mean, okay, Avenite and like Casual is a little bit debatable nowadays without knowing you're going to play like Remembrance flagship, right? So for Bob, I already know for a fact I don't really care about Asheville. I'm not going to be pulling for Asheville. I'm not going to be pulling for Elation. Even if Blade is a universal character for a lot. Okay, like for example, if Bob pulls for Blade, all right? If Bob pulls for Blade, and I essentially run this team, all right? I can run a team like this with my E0 S0 Mighty, and I will make use of Blade to literally wheelchair my team across to the finish line, right? I could theoretically do something like this. Would it be stronger than Sunday? Probably, right? This team will probably be a lot stronger than Sunday, at least of the current environment. But what happens when the Shonen environment goes away? What happened to my E0 S1? What happens if Sunday gets a Nova Flare, bro? You know what I'm saying? So, like, I really don't like pulling for wheelchair units, especially as a free-to-play, because as a free-to-play, you can't change your DPS as frequently as, like, Light Spender Plus or Wheels, right? You are kind of stuck with whatever DPS you're with, because it's way cheaper to invest in a single DPS, because you only, like, what, one cost upgrade here and there, or maybe two costs, and instead of building a new team from scratch, which usually starts off at 4 costs. Bare minimum, right? So that is gonna be my 2 cents on this entire situation. Between S0, blah, 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 which do you think is gonna be the main push? Okay. First of all, funny how you asked me this question on the 3rd of June, just a very 2nd of June, which is a very, very interesting time to ask this question. Second of all, I have no idea, bro. I have no idea, right? If I were to be a guessing man, Silver Wolf does have the highest amount of traders and marketing budget. Evanescence is definitely not main push, right? Can we just all come to like planet Earth and get realistic? She is not main push, right? She's the one that decides the rules of the game, but she is definitely not main push. The question is more so, is Silver Wolf the one or Himeko Nova the one? Personally speaking, Himeko gives off Finon vibes. I mean, I don't even know what she does, but like she gives off Finon vibes. And then Silver Wolf and the entire flagship with like Elation, she gives off like that main push vibes. So that is gonna be my personal opinion, right? Fei Xiao main. Fei Xiao tries a 0 cycle. When am I gonna see beginning of the new era? Holy shit, bro. She looks like the guy from JJK, bro. Since when did she look like the guy from JJK? But very, very soon. Do you have enough Relic remains to farm for? Okay. You know this set, right? The IC set. Also, that is an insane fucking amount of resins. For the IC set, I'm just guessing, right? If Himeko ends up being like an ultimate DPS, if one thing I've noticed with a lot of these kind of like ultimate DPS users is that they tend to cast their outs a lot. And there's this one set in HSR where if you cast your ultimate, you get 25% action very advanced. So that would be pretty interesting in it. We'll just see what's up then. Do you think Himeko with the second main push is gonna be a final tier? Oh boy. This looks very bad. Oh my goodness. You pulled for every single fucking... Okay, not every single, but you pulled for like half the DPS roster under the fucking sun, bro. You have Azrael DPS, Casterus Evernight, Dieherta, Rappa, Fei Xiao, Archer, Saber. Okay, Jingliu, I guess if you are a day one player, it's kind of fine, but like, you have way too many different DPSs at the same time. I think the only saving grace for this account is to apply for an account review because you're kind of cool.
You have cooled your last cool, my man.